pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't even look at mine. Did you, oh, you didn't bring your packet?
No, I did not.
Oh, I didn't bring my pen.
Okay, guys.
All right.
You all have to go to detention. You go
I'm
to,
the oldest one. No, I might not be the oldest one here. Yes, I am. You and I are the same age, aren't we?
I have no
You're the
idea.
youngest one.
I'm 74.
You're a young chicken.
You're the youngest one.
I'm the youngest one?
Yes.
you got to report to detention now because you're not prepared.
That's right.
We're prepared.
Okay.
Oh, I've read over the minutes, so that I did that at home.
Yes. Well, oh, shoot. I'll call Karen. She'll bring them over.
What's that?
Your things, because we have line item transfers and everything else.
Okay.
I'll just call her and tell her to whip them over. I'm the forgetful one. I can't believe you guys.
Yeah, I forgot to grab them out.
Okay.
I was handed stuff, but that's only over to Melissa. Maybe there's something in the middle.
Just text her.
Let me look here
Are you
before you...
texting?
No, I didn't text her. I got the line item transfers here. I mean, it's all in.
You don't need them?
It's all in the
Okay.
email.
All right.
Let me see what's here.
Those are the ones I just put over there.
I
Well, I
got.
gave you something else as I went out the door. Yeah, maybe this is-
There's 3 line item transfers.
Okay.
Do you need a copy of the minutes?
No, I have
yeah,
those,
this
yeah.
was- I was
I
handed
got it.
going out the door, so maybe this one. There.
I got it.
That I was told to get to Melissa.
This, all this stuff?
Yeah. I just assumed it was her copy.
Okay, I don't know.
Mm.
All right, well, we'll carry on. Okay. Well, first thing here we have. Public comment.
Yes, Fred Kane from Wolfboro. I
Good
hope
morning, Fred.
Good morning. I hope everyone was safe during that storm that hit New Hampshire. It was quite a storm.
I was landlocked.
Yeah, a lot of people were, but I hope everyone's properties did well. I see our county got hit pretty hard, and a few things. It's sad for a lot of people. Last week, we talked about public input, and the board said they were discussing it, and I just want to bring it to the attention of the board that when they tried to change it to the end of the meeting last January it was, I have a copy of January's minutes, you can read them when they did it, and I started a petition to put it back on at the beginning of the meeting, which in March they had done that. And I hope that you will review this again. I believe last week Dallas was asking for a couple of minutes at the end. Usually there's only a few of us here, and I just think it'd be appropriate to have it at the beginning and the end again. Bill, I think you were misunderstood last week. I think you're in favor of it in the beginning, so people would know, which I do believe that's a good thing for people who want to come, but I do not think we should have it changed again. And I know that I had turned in the petition with over 200 signatures in to Melissa at the time, requesting that it stay on the beginning of the ballot. And lastly, can the commissioners address how the county is advertising for staff? Every day I look in the Conway Sun and there's ads in there for other facilities advertising, but I don't see anything from the county. The only thing I see in the paper this week for the county is they're advertising for a snowplow operator and to do the sidewalks. But I definitely think we should have ads in there looking for staff other than just online, to be competitive with the other facilities in our area. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Well, we don't have any media questions. Approval of the minutes for December 14th.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. is, I can't believe how fast the time's going.
Recording in progress.
Okay, and then I have the manifest approval for December 20th, $130,247.24. For payroll for December 22nd, $214,807.39.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't think, Joe, do you have anything for Hales?
I don't have anything, but I guess you'll have to approve the minutes from last week's meeting.
Right.
That's the only thing we have here, because I didn't get anything from them this
Yep.
week. And that's the signature one. So we will recess and go into the Hales location selectmen's meeting,
9:09.
9:09. Thank you.
Motion to approve the minutes
One
for,
second, I have a question.
Oh.
That's probably not going to be an issue. I thought I saw something come through saying about some meetings that they have regarding the school district, and it mentioned all the school districts around. I had no idea what that was about. I don't know if there's a lawsuit, maybe Ed knows. I'll email you a copy or a
Okay.
thing about it, the news, I don't know, a news article or where somewhere.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if we go or not.
motion to approve the minutes of the Hales location selectmen's meeting of December 14th, 2023.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that's me.
That's all right, go ahead, I'll sign that one. You already signed it, doesn't make any difference. I'll just-
Read it, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's Melissa's. There's nothing. Anything, Joe? Nothing else for Hales?
Nothing else for Hales. Thank you.
We'll go out of the Hales Board of Selectmen's meeting and back into our commissioner meeting.
9:11.
Line item transfers. Okay, we have one. Request number 2023-25. It's from the maintenance, Bob Murray. It's requesting out of account number 100-4195-061-902, electric, in the amount of $2,119.52, going into two accounts, into account number 100-4195-061-903 for $410.52, and then in account number 100-4195-085-903, property tax, for the amount of $1,709, for a total of $2,119.52.
What does the property tax go to?
Yep. Request transfer to cover shortfall in budgeted line items due to higher than anticipated electric and property tax.
Motion to approve.
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm looking to see, he doesn't say who. Okay. No, do you have any idea, is that the
I'm sorry.
tax, is that Which bill?
We got a higher than anticipated property tax bill for the courthouse, but then we also got an abatement.
Okay,
So the abatement will show on the revenue side.
okay.
That will offset this.
Because I was going to say, I thought we got an
We did.
abatement for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do you have copies for
Yes,
this?
I do.
Okay. I think we can sign them all at once. And then he also has an,
These are all four.
there is also another one from the county facilities. 2023-26. It's a request to come out of 100-4195-097-901, new equipment line. Request for $123.76. Going into 100-4195-011-901, short-term disability, for the amount of $43.01. And a request for 100-4195-080-901, care of grounds, for $80.75, for a total of $123.76.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Goodness. Okay. And then we have another request for the MVC Annex 2023-27 to come out of account number 100-4195-081-901, maintenance, for the amount of $7,407.98. Going into account number 100-4195-029-902, contracted fees for the amount of $2,272.18. And the other one is going into account number 100-495-081-902, maintenance, for the amount of $5,135.80, for the total of $7,407.98. Request transfer $7,407.98 to cover shortfall in budgeted lines due to unexpected repairs to the annex boilers.
That's three. Then, how many did you read?
3.
3.
I have
4. Yep, I haven't got the other one yet.
Oh, okay.
Motion.
These are all.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll get these signed and then we'll go on to the others.
Stay every day for a tour.
Sure. Do you have an idea what time you're coming down?
As soon as we're done here, if you're available.
Okay.
Or we can set a time, 10:30, 11, whatever. What
Okay.
works for you.
Yeah. Whenever you guys don't have much here today.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't appear that we do, but you never know.
Right.
Morning, Will.
Morning.
Hey, how did the roads make out?
The part that we had redone this summer,
Yeah.
excellent.
Oh,
It's
good.
fine. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, good,
So
good.
we haven't fixed the washout part yet, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, that held up.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you come in about this, about your line item transfer?
Yes, ma'am. In case you guys had any questions.
Okay, we have another request, 2023-28 from DPW, from account number 100-4302-012-000, medical insurance, for the amount of $8,490. Going into account 100-4302-097-000, new equipment, for the same amount, $8,490. And since you're here, you can explain what you need,
Yes, ma'am.
if you would.
So what this item is a brush cutter. Basically, it's like a heavy-duty brush hog, if you will, that'll go on the front of our skid steer. The one we currently have goes on the back of our big tractor. It's like 20 years old. It's in rough shape, and we need one on the front of the skid steer because it can go in locations that the big tractor can't. We've been getting like up our wells. I know. They talked about it, Lynette talked about it last week a little bit, and how I'm trying to keep clear up there on our wells. And when we've had the state inspections from the state coming looking at our wells and our septic fields as well, there's different areas that I just can't get into with big tractors. They're either smaller areas or they're wet areas, and I sink in the heavy tractor versus the skid steer has such a light footprint. So those are the main areas. There's a lot of other areas right around the complex here that we could use that machine to do that. So that's what I'm looking for. I put it in the 2024 capital, and then when you guys talked about if we had some money left over this year that we could look at purchasing some of those. Our medical line was funded apparently last year for a larger policy than what was needed in our department, so we had the extra money. So that's what I'm looking for, is to replace it. We did a lot of research on the type of machine. There's a wide variety of costs, ranges on these kinds of pieces of equipment, but also quality. And this is it's pricey, but it's a nice piece of quality, well-built machine. Had really good reviews, and I think it's something that'll hold up for a long time. Like I said, the one we have now is 20 years old, and it's getting worn because brush hogs get beat up when they're out doing their job, but I want something that's going to be that kind of length again to us. This is hydraulically driven off of the hydraulics of the skid steer, just like our snow blower is that we use around the nursing home. So it's fitted, it's sized and fitted appropriately to our machine. Trying to think, I tried to write a nice description for you guys. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it. I'm trying to remember what else I put in there, but the other thing is going from a brush hog to brush to more of a brush cutter. This is called a brush cutter. With the big tractor, it's an open cab, and so when you're cutting just grasses and stuff, it's not a big deal. When you get into cutting more brush, you got things flying around. In the skid steer, whatever employee is running it is protected in the cab instead of having stuff come flying up into an open platform. So that's another important part of the type of machine it is, or the type of equipment it is to run, what kind of machine to run it in is a safety aspect for myself and the employees as we're running it. So that's another benefit of having it on the skid steer, honestly.
Any questions?
How many hours, I guess I do have a question.
Okay.
How many hours do you use this a year?
I got a feeling that we'll probably be putting maybe 20, 25 hours. There's potential to do it that much on it with what could be done around here and to keep up on stuff so things aren't growing back in and whatnot. And that's just a quick estimate off my head. I honestly, I didn't really sit down and think about it, but
I'm just
just know.
curious how much you use it.
Yeah, we'd definitely be using it at different times throughout the season. It might not be for long periods of time, but hitting little spots here and there and everything with it.
One, you see advertised these DR trimmers and all that. Is that something that could be considered? I don't know how thick the brush is, but you see these advertised.
Yes, a lot of this stuff's probably thicker than a lot of those machines would handle. And also, we don't have, like, to do what we used to do with all this brushes, we used to get, a crew of 6 or 8 inmates out of the jail and go out and do it by hand. We don't have that now, where my staff is a lot slimmer. So to have a machine that we can put on the skid steer and go out and get it done quickly and come back. I think a lot of those GR trimmers are mostly like walk behind type stuff. Some of the terrain that we're going with those would be tough to get there, or we'd have to, like, to go up to our wells and everything, we'd have to try to load it on and off a truck to get it up there versus driving up there. So I just don't think they're really apples to apples. I think they're more of a homeowner's level, and I'm looking at more of a semi-professional level of a machine here that's gonna hold us a long time and do, bigger jobs for us on the complex.
One follow-up?
Yes.
How many times a year would you use this?
Depending on the areas, we'd use it several times a year, but in the specific location, probably like 2-3 times a year that we would cut that area. But there's several locations, so I probably wouldn't do them all, I'm not gonna fit them all in one day, but, this week we got a day where we got a half a day, it's like, okay, let's go out and knock out these 2-3 different areas. And so over the course of the summer, we'd be using it quite a bit, but just not, in a single location, I would say probably 2-3 times a year, that would be the plan to keep that area cleaned up.
All right, thank you.
Does this one articulate, will it go up vertical or no?
Yes, it'll come with the extent to what the skid steer does, so like if you tilt your bucket
Oh,
back,
okay.
it'll be
Okay,
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further questions?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
And while you're here, Will, I'm just looking at this letter that we got.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You want to talk to the other, kind of explain this, what this is? Do you
Sure.
need this?
Um,
Yeah, especially where I see my name is the responsible officer.
well, you're, to the state being the chairman, you're the,
I know.
thank you.
Okay.
You're considered the owner, that's why you get all the emails, and why you're on here. But basically, they came out for, a couple weeks ago for, inspection slash, tour of our sewer system, DES did. The gentleman, so every 5 years, we have a permit that we have to get, and I'm sure you guys heard about that, and every 5 years we have to renew the permit. We renewed it, it was up this year. Last time there was a gentleman, Mitch Locker, had been at DES for years, he retired. A new gentleman, John, came in, very nice guy. He took over the position a few years ago, so as all the permits are coming due and he's approving them, he's going out and touring the sites and understanding the systems and making sure everything's looking good and doing right. He was accompanied by this other gentleman and another person. There was 3 of them that came and we did the tour. And this gentleman, he's in the wastewater operations side, and so he asked a lot of operational questions and what we do, and is very knowledgeable at his job. And one of the things they're running into is that municipalities, as the generations are getting older that have been running the municipality water and sewers, and they're leaving the towns, retiring. A lot of towns, municipalities aren't replacing them. They'll just say, okay, you had 3 guys, now get by with 2 and do the same thing. And they're finding throughout the state that that's hindering operations when they're not having the proper staff to do all the things
Sorry.
that need to be done. So one of the things on this is there's a staffing, I think the last page I talked about, there's a staffing calculation he was telling me about that they estimate, this was all their estimations, I had nothing to do with this, but what they figure a system our size needs and the amount of hours we put into a system our size. And then they figured that off based off of how many employees they feel that it should be running the system and having available. So in this particular case for our wastewater system, it came out to about a 1.42 staffing is what so basically like a 1.5 person that they would estimate that we need. By our permit, we have to have 2 licensed operators, which we do. So we have 2 licensed, but then he also wanted to know what are the other things you do on the complex. We're in charge of the water, we do the plowing, we do the, all the things we do, and I told him all those things, and he made a recommendation in this letter off of that at some point we should be looking at having 3 full-time staff for a department of our size and the scope that we're doing to be accomplishing all the things that need to be done. So that was one of his recommendations on the front page here that came out of that tour. So it was, like I said, it was a very interesting tour. They asked a lot of questions, went through our whole system. There's some stuff on the sewer end eventually. I think once we get some of this water stuff wrapped up that we're going to want to look at updating too out there. Not as I don't see it at this point as being as dramatic as the water system has been, but again, the system's 20 years old. We have a lot of things that are starting to slowly but surely go. With that lightning strike this year, we had a lot of things happen down in the sewer system that we've had to take care of, and luckily the insurance has helped us out with those things, but it pointed out to us that a lot of those things are 20 years old, and some of this stuff is bound to happen. So in talking with them, same thing, they had pointed out a lot of different things that we should be looking at in the near future to do. So that's kind of what that was all about. He wanted to be emailed to you because you're the registered owner. He was having a heck of a time. 2 or 3 times he sent it to you, and his email wouldn't send it to you. I even
Oh, because I was gonna say.
copied and
I didn't
pasted
see it,
it. Yeah, I even copied and pasted your email out of my contacts and sent it to him, and it still wasn't going through. So I told him I would hand deliver it
Yeah.
to you, and then we felt that talking with Melissa, we're like, yeah, let's make sure everybody's got copies for you guys, the 3 of you, and just so you guys could see that. But that's what that was.
Have you gentlemen had a chance to read this?
I didn't see, I don't think I
I just have a question.
Yes.
If one of the owners, the owner of it, helped you out on all this, would that be a help? And did they even bring a guard dog with them?
Yeah. But, I
Guess it's a
mean,
no.
this
Right.
letter, he's very honest about that we need a third person.
Yes,
And that's coming from the state. I guess it's something we should look into. It says, we discussed the all-important human asset staffing guide for wastewater treatment plant operators recommends Carroll County have 1.2 wastewater only operators. Since Carroll County operators wear multiple hats, including drinking water, and the fact that much of the unique staffing needs of the Carroll County system aren't included in the staffing calculator, it is not hard to see how Carroll County should have a minimum of 3 full-time employees to do the job safely and properly. Without proper staffing, both the physical and human assets fail and permit compliance issues develop. So, there you go.
so I definitely think it's something that we need to
Yeah,
look at in the future, and hopefully in the near future, but
yeah. I will make sure
Something
that the
should consider.
delegation gets this, because you don't have a third person in your budget right now.
correct.
So, okay,
We don't, do we have a second person? I mean, we have 2 licensed operators.
right.
We have 2 full-time in my, counting me, and I have 1 full-time guy in my department. And then we've kind of been, which is getting tough, but we've kind of been filling in with per diem people over the last several years. Several years ago, I used to have a third, and then the budget was cut, and I lost a third person. And then since then, we've kind of, between part-time and per diem, have been trying to fill that in, but just like everybody else with departments, it's getting harder and harder to fill per diem people in for different things, so. It's something, a discussion I think that needs to be talked about at some point in the future here.
And this person would do all types of things, not just this one sort.
Correct. Yeah. Personally, I have a management belief that we all need to know how to do everything. We might specialize in certain areas, but if one person's not there, someone else needs to be able to jump in and fill that position. So we cross-train with everything in my department. Clearly, there's only 2 full-timers, and almost everything we do takes the 2 of us to do together. But when we do fill in the part-timers or the per diems, you know, I train everybody on most stuff. At least so they have a basic idea. So if I wasn't there, they called me and said, Will, what switch do I flip to fix this? I can walk them through it, and they're familiar with it, you know, that kind of stuff. So yes, if we add on a third at some point in the future, they'll be fully trained with everything.
Okay. Any further questions for Will?
No.
Okay.
Madam Chair, could I ask a question while Will's still here?
Yes.
It's about your equipment, Dallas Emory Center Hospital. You just allowed $8,000 or a little over $8,000 per piece of equipment. My question is, could that, you said 20 hours or a little over 20 hours a year, couldn't that be subbed out to somebody else at a less of a cost to the county? And as far as the third person, OSPI has 350 people on their system and they only have 2 people running it. So I'm not sure what that statement is.
I'm not sure either, but it came from the state, so I would.
I know, well, I don't agree with the state all the time, so.
Well, so,
But to be clear, the system's functioning and
Yes.
there are no problems.
Correct.
Okay.
We're meeting all the standards as far as all the testing and all that happens, that we're processing everything properly. You know, everything's being met, needs to be done.
Are there any studies, facility studies here at all on any part of the facilities? In terms of age and when they need to be replaced and that type of thing?
I don't think there's too much, and that's kind of where we're going with
That's
this
kind of
water.
a Bob Murray question, probably
Yeah,
more than.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least in my department, there hasn't. It's kind of 2003, 2001 to 2003, there was major updates in my department from the water and the sewer end when they built the jail. All that stuff was all new then. And since it kind of all happened at once, that's why we're starting to run into a lot of, you know, issues now that we're 20 years out from all those. So, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, Will.
thank you.
Thank you. You'll have a good day. If I don't see you, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
You too.
And thank you again for doing that for me, going up to North Conway. And
Oh, not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
just in case anybody was questioning, Will went to North Conway and picked up 130 hams for me for employees, so that I didn't have to drive down here with them, so,
In a hurricane.
in the hurry. Okay, I guess we have a non-public.
Non-public.
Yep, would you like to read?
This is what we need, AC.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we go into non-public session under New Hampshire RSA 91-A:3, 2A and C.
Second that motion.
All those in favor, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner McGee,
Aye.
Commissioner Nelson, aye. Commissioner McCarthy.
Aye,
9:34.
9:34.
I know I messed it up once, and I'm panicking if I mess it up again.
Is this the one that has to go?
One of my favorite days, the shortest day of the year.
Is that today?
Today?
Really, the
Longest
first?
night and the shortest day.
Today is the shortest day
Oh,
of the year.
yes, that is my favorite day too.
The winter equinox.
Is that what it's called?
We're going the other way now.
But is it a shorter
did it.
day or shorter Sunday?
Hey, we made it this far.
It's the shortest sunshine.
Uh-huh.
How do we use all of these?
Now we can get ready for the snow.
It's gotta come sometime, right? We need some
Chances
snow.
are it will snow at some point.
Can you imagine if that storm we just had was snow?
I said
Oh, we'd
that
have been up
too.
to our butts.
I said, we'd have had feet. It would have been feet. My car would have been buried.
Well, Wintersaki was down about 14 inches, and that, yesterday when I checked it,
Good, we need to sign these
3
four.
inches below full.
Really?
Yeah,
Acting like that.
it could even be higher than
Jerry
that
has
now.
to sign the manifest.
You think that because the ground wasn't frozen, it got
Remember
caught
opening
went
the
in
door
much
and
faster than it would have?
You couldn't see
The
outside.
ground hasn't frozen, that would have still run off like that.
We just need to sign the manifest, well, I guess we have to come out.
Okay,
now.
quiet, quiet on the set. 11 o'clock.
Motion to come out of non-public and seal the minutes.
Second that motion.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we have anything else? Any other business?
I don't have anything for you.
Nothing else? Okay. Oh, I think I'll recess. We'll recess till meeting, because there's no meeting next week
Afternoons.
and after New Year's. So everyone have a wonderful Christmas.
And that started at 10 o'clock from now on? Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, starting in January, it'll be 10 o'clock. Yeah, good. I can't. See, you're very festive today.
Love it.
I like it.
Okay, so we're in recess, it's 11:01.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yes.